guys? My name's not Zach, and today we're driving a 1998 Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S. Up front is a 2.5-liter twin-turbo V6, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. I'm super excited to be driving this car today for two reasons. First of all, this is the performance version of the Legnum, which got that stellar 6A13TT twin-turbo engine up front and active yaw controls from the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution of the same era. Second of all, this is one of only a small handful in the US, so driving this one is going to be a rare treat. But if you'd like to submit your vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head over to Zack's website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form that takes under a minute to fill out, and he'll come out to you. And if you'd like to see all of his videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head over to his Patreon for only $5 a month. And of course, if you want a rad ride to have reviewed, you can check us out at TikiBunnyImports.com. We're a boutique importer of JDM vehicles, and I'll be thrilled to make your JDM dreams come true. Give us a follow over on Instagram or subscribe to our YouTube. But let's get back to the engine under the hood. It's a magnificent 2.5-liter 6A13TT twin-turbo V6 that is unique to this model. It puts out an impressive 306 horsepower, which is something we're only used to seeing in the Supras and Skylines of the generation, which makes this otherwise unassuming wagon one heck of a sleeper. Now, paired to it is a 5-speed manual that makes every rev, every shift a delight. Last and certainly not least is that this is 4-wheel drive. The Legnum is the wagon version of the Mitsubishi Galant that was designed to rally in Group A back in the late 80s before it was replaced by the Lancer Evolution. Rather than keep their homologation special, they used this car as a technology and performance halo to show off what Mitsubishi could do. And in case you're wondering, that VR-4 stands for Viscous Real-Time 4-Wheel Drive. And we're definitely going to take advantage of that here in Wisconsin, especially in the snow. So, how's it feel to drive the Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S? It feels incredible. It's great. I love it. You can feel all that power up front that's just barely contained, and it just wants to go. Mitsubishi got away with so much in the 90s in terms of wild cars, powerful engines, and absolute feats of engineering, some more robust than others, but this is just showcasing all of their best things. Visibility is pretty good for where this car rides, but the best part is that this is otherwise just a wagon, and almost everyone at a glance will have no idea what is actually underneath that hood. Let's just do a real quick pull to demonstrate. See how this feels. Oof. Oh. This thing sings, and it just wants to go, go, go. Like, even in third gear, you are just absolutely flying in this thing, and it feels so good. That turbo just absolutely belts out the best tune. And man, driving this thing around all day would feel just wonderful. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk the interior. Up front in front of me are 4 gauges. On the left, we have fuel. To the right of that, we have kilometers per hour with the odometer below it. To the right of that, we have our tachometer with a red line of 7,000. Beneath that, we have our active yaw control sensors. And all the way to the right, we've got our temperature gauge. To the right of the steering wheel, we do have our air conditioning vent open and close. We have our fog light controls, power mirror controls, and the controls to move the mirrors in and out. To the left of the wheel, we have nothing but our control stock. And in the center, we have our clock, which doesn't work, our hazard switch, 2 AC control vents, and our AC controls. Now, what's really cool about this is it is completely automatic. We have air conditioning here in both full and economy mode. You can show you the outside temperature, switch the fan speed, change it to interior circulation, change where the vents are blowing, front and rear defrost. And over here, we've got our automatic climate control knob to set the temperature. Down below, we do have an aftermarket Kenwood radio, which is very period accurate, but something that can definitely have an update. Below that, there is a cubby so that if the future owner of this vehicle wants to put it doubled in there, they can absolutely do so. Beneath that, we do have a Mitsubishi staple in a sunglass holder. It's not a Mitsubishi Performance anything without a sunglass holder. And below that, we do have a 12-volt power point and an ashtray. Now let's move on to the seats. As I mentioned, they have these very cool Ultra 90s fabric inserts that are just so cushy. I absolutely love these. You can easily do a hefty road trip in this without any fatigue because not only are they comfy, they have 2 points of adjustment for your seat and lower back. They strangely lack power controls here, which is a notable absence if a vehicle like this is supposed to be showing off what Mitsubishi offers in the way of technology. Very weird. Moving into our center console, we do have this beefy 5-speed shifter that just feels massive for a vehicle like this. And then as we move in, we have this little cubby. Now, this little cubby actually has a little push button cup holder that pops up. So with that in mind, let's do a big friggin' bottle test. Now, these are great to have, but it does predictably fail the not the big frickin' bottle test. Behind that, we do have our center console, which actually has 2 modes of opening. So if you pull the left, you get this nifty little void to keep whatever it is you want to keep down there. And if you pull the right switch, it actually opens up to another little cubby, including a rear cup holder. Now, this little guy pops up and down, as you can see here, and serves as a nice little cup holder or tray table for the rear passengers. So it's really nice that they figured out a way to save a little space and not put this in the back of the center console where they tend to be much flimsier, but really interesting use of space here by Mitsubishi. Speaking of back seats, we do have a back seat, so let's head back there for a back seat review. Okay, here we go. Taking a seat in the back of a Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S. And as you can see, the driver's seat is in the position that I was in, and I've still got plenty of knee room. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, about 220. I am not a small guy, and I have got more than enough room back here to really enjoy it. So is this a vehicle that that you could have 4 burly American dudes have a road trip on? Absolutely. And what's really nifty is these back seats are so cushy. You can definitely tell that nobody has sat back here for a long time, or they were just not used all that much because they are just plush. Now, this being a wagon, I do expect extra room back here. Now, compared to other JDM performance wagons like the Stagia, this is miles different. Now, the Stagia is very much a Skyline with a back seat added. The Legnum is very much a sedan that has been upgraded into a wagon. So there was a back seat designed in mind for this vehicle, and it really shows. The Galant comfort is definitely not something that you would probably think of when you're talking about the Mitsubishi Galant from 1998, but at the same time, compared to other sedans and other wagons of its era, this is actually pretty good. I'm very impressed by the amount of room back here and just how comfortable it is. And as you can see, I've got a decent amount of headroom too, which is always a nice touch. I'm not leaning too far back, which is always a great thing to see. And we even have little switches over here to turn on and off rear lights for reading. So if you're doing a long road trip back here, you can certainly do worse, but I'm not sure you can do much better because it's pretty nice back here. Also back here in the center, we do have a foldable armrest. Again, no cup holders back here because those are in the center console. Certainly nice to see. Certainly nice to settle back in here and have a nice rest. So an excellent additional feature. And of course, the doors do have power windows back here, which is an excellent feature to have, especially when you don't want to rely on the driver or have a crank window. For other JDM sedans of the era, this is pretty expected, so it is a nice feature to have, although it's not anything to write home about. But this being a wagon, we do have a way back, so let's take a look at the trunk and cargo space, and after that we'll talk about the looks. So, coming around the back of the Mitsubishi Legnum, we do have a nice big rear wiper, a nice well-mounted center branding piece and a center-mounted handle. Once we're back here, there is a really solid amount of room, more than enough for a few full-size suitcases and even a pull-out tonneau cover. That's an excellent feature to keep anything private back here or keep anything out of the sun. We also have a number of hidden compartments back here, which is fantastic for a maximized use of space, including a cargo net over here. We do have a couple of steel tie downs for when you really want to keep all of your cargo exactly where it's supposed to be. These seats will fold for even more room, even though the tonneau cover is now just kind of in the way. Still, if you need something taller in the back of this Mitsubishi Wagon, you have more than enough space for just about anything, like an area rug. You could probably get a 2x4 if you back here. So there you go, lots of room in the back of a Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S. All right, now we got to talk about the looks, and this is definitely of the era for Mitsubishi. The exterior is relatively simple, it's sleek, but where it really shines is these angular headlights. They give it a much meaner look. Paired with that thin grille, it really does just have a menacing streak to it, and I absolutely love it. In the back, we do have this really subtle rear spoiler that looks like it can create quite a bit of downforce with how chunky it is in all the right ways. And based on how much power is up front, it's definitely appreciated. Overall though, that silver color and relatively understated styling just underline the sleeper nature of this wagon. It's a perfect package for exactly that, because nobody will know that more than 300 horses are lurking underneath the hood just by looking at it, and I'm sure that will lend to some real fun on the roads. With all that out of the way, let's move on to my final thoughts. What's it like driving a Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S? Well, it's dynamite. I absolutely love driving this thing around. It's a long name, but what an absolute unit of a wagon. We got the 8th generation Galant here as a newly minted mid-size sedan, up from a compact, but it was never anything to really write home about. It had either a 4 or 6 cylinder engine maxing out at about 195 horsepower, and was paired to an automatic transmission, so seeing how much further Japan took this is truly impressive. The wagon adds so much to the style of the vehicle and cements it as an enthusiast car. With the extra 100 horsepower and the addition of 2 turbos and a 5-speed manual transmission, this goes from a boring run-of-the-mill daily to something extraordinary. And because this car is such a sleeper, because it's so focused on the driving experience, it's so understated and subtle, and it's not painted bright, flashy colors, it's all about dropping the hammer and enjoying every single rev. Every shift, every feeling that 4-wheel drive system can glue all 4 of those wheels down to the roads. If you want something that's going to draw a lot of attention at Cars and Coffee, this is not your car. Get a Supra, get a Skyline, get anything else, because this is not your guy. But ultimately, that's kind of the benefit of a Mitsubishi Legnum VR-4 Type S, because it looks like a daily driver, and it certainly could be. But as an enthusiast car, this one just flies under the radar in all of the right ways, and man, nobody is looking at you in the way that is the absolute opposite of every other JDM performance car. Part of owning a JDM performance car is having other people look at you, having other people realize what it is, what you're doing, what you're driving, and then getting that extra attention. But this car eschews attention. It wants none of that. All it wants to do is have a song in its heart and your right foot as hard on the gas as humanly possible, because this car just goes. So, is being subtle a drawback? Nah, that's completely up to you. I hope you guys liked the video. Huge thanks to Zack for letting me make this video in his style as an April Fool's Day prank. He was in Japan when this one came to Tiki HQ, and I wasn't allowed to let it go without giving a proper review, even if Zack wasn't here to do it himself. That said, please check us out at tikibunnyimports.com for our show schedule, current inventory, or to reach out to make your JDM dreams come true. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to leave a comment on the video and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.